So now that you know what extrudes, revolves, and lofts are, how do you use these tools to bring your ideas to life? It can be daunting to start a model from scratch. Where do you even start? There's really no right answer to this question, because even the most simple things can be done multiple different ways. The objective of this video is to make you feel comfortable with defining a plan of action when beginning the modeling phase. With that being said, we're going to be going over how to think through a design. Again, we're going to be talking through one way to model this chair. But here you can see that even this chair can be made multiple different ways, while the end result is always the same. In our video today, we're going to be using Gravity Sketch to plan out our model, but sketching things out on paper works just as well. And for the actual modeling phase, we're going to be using Fusion 360, but know that it can also be modeled in any other 3D modeling program. With that being said, let's start.
Here we are in Gravity Sketch. We are planning out how to model the Butaka chair that was designed by Claire Pressette in the 1950s. You can see here her sitting in one of the versions of this chair. So getting right into it, the first thing I do when modeling an object is to look up or draw reference photos that show different angles of the object. Here are the photos I found showing different views and details. It can also be beneficial to sketch out the object fully to get a feel for the shape and curvature of the object. Next, I make a list of the different parts of the object and make some observation about each of those things. My list for this chair includes the legs, the seat, the leg connectors, the armrest, the arm to seat connectors, and the hands, which are at the end of the armrest. My main observation about these parts were that all of them, but the seat, come in symmetrical pairs, meaning I can make one part and simply mirror it to make the other copy. For more information about mirroring, click the link below. From there, I go through the list and decide which tools I'm going to use to create each part. If you've watched our previous videos, so far in our tool belt, we have extrusions, lofts, and revolves, so we'll be using those to make this chair. First on the list are the legs. On this reference photo, you can see that a 2D sketch could be made from the side profile, which I'll sketch right onto this photo to show. Then the sketch can be extended using an extrusion to make the legs. Next is the seat. Again, I noticed the seat would also have a 2D sketch side profile that would be extended using an extrusion. Then onto the leg connectors. Looking at this photo, you can see the connectors are a cylinder-like shape, meaning you could create a sketch of a slice and rotate it around an axis using a revolve. Next on the list are the armrests. Taking a closer look at these photos, we can see that the back profile is a square that is at an angle, while the front profile would be a square that is vertical. Being that the two profiles are at a different angle, I would use a loft with curved rails to make the armrests. Now on to the arm to seat connectors. Being that the arm to seat connectors are similar shaped as the leg connectors, we could use the same process using a revolve to create these connectors. Lastly, we have the hands. These are a little bit of a tricky shape to model because the top and bottom profiles are curved. But if we were to make these profiles flat, they both would be the same shape, so we could use an extrusion to make the form. Then using another extrusion from the side, cut out the curves of the top and bottom profiles. Now the last step is to mirror all the parts but the seat to finish out our plan on how to model this chair. From here, we can move into a 3D modeling software and begin modeling. Here we are in Fusion 360, where we'll be modeling the Butaka chair. You will see for each of the parts of the chair a highlighted plane and/or sketch and the function being executed. For instance, you will see the side profile sketch that is then extruded to make the leg. One thing you may notice is some of the sketches are purple. Those sketches are projected sketches, which you can learn more about in the link below. Another very important part about creating this chair in Fusion 360 is understanding all the different ways of making planes. The different types of plane construction are under the contract drop-down menu. If you would like more information about plane construction, there's also a link for that down below. By going through and planning out how to make each of the parts before modeling, all you have to do in your 3D modeling software is figure out where to create your sketch depending on which tool you're using, then simply tell the software to do the function for each of the pieces, and then you have a completed model.
So now that you've seen this video, I hope you're comfortable outlining a plan of action when 3D modeling. If you're stuck, remember to sketch out and/or find reference images of what you want to model, then break it down into manageable steps, then assign the tools you know to each of those steps, and then bring it all together in your chosen modeling program. I hope this helps, and good luck on your modeling journey.